Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we move on to the next chapter of our curriculum, which is called the Clarifier, which is known as the Tamyeez. So a Tamyeez is used to clarify or add detail to a word which is ambiguous. So it's often translated as in terms of. We'll give some examples after. So the rules of a Tamyeez is that the Tamyeez is always singular, it's common, and it's nasab in status, and it comes after the ambiguous word. So it has to be singular, common, and nasab. So a tamyiz is often used in an ism tafdil. If you remember, the ism tafdil is a comparative. So meaning comparative means when you're comparing two things, like, he is bigger than the other person, for example. So a comparison word, if you remember, a comparison word does not fully explain the comparison. So example, Yusuf is greater than John. So the word greater is the tafdil, the ism tafdil is the comparison. So Yusuf is greater than John, but greater in what? How is he greater? So a tamyiz is used to clarify the what. So Yusuf is greater than John in height. So the tamyiz is in height. So it clarifies the tafdil, the comparison. So an example would be Man a'sanu qawlan, who is better in speech. So the ism tafdil is a'sanu, which means better, and the tamyiz is qawlan in speech. So if you look at the tamyiz, it's singular, it's common, and it's nasab. So it follows the rules of the tamyiz, and it comes after the ambiguous word, and the ambiguous word being the ism tafdil, the comparative a'sanu. So the tamyiz clarifies how the person is better in speech. So these are some fi'ls that use a tamyiz. So the first one is mala'a, which means to fill. Zada is to increase something or someone. Izdada is to increase oneself. And kafa is to be sufficient. And sa'a is to be terrible. And hasuna is to be good. So when you see these fi'ls, you'll often see a tamyiz with them in order to clarify, to give more clarification. So example here, mil'ul ardi zahaban. So which means full capacity of the earth in terms of gold. So the mil'ul ardi is the ambiguous term. So meaning it just means full capacity of the earth. But full capacity in what? So the tamyiz is there to clarify, to give a little bit more detail. So zahaban is the tamyiz, so it's singular, it's common, and it's nasab, and it comes after the ambiguous word, so it follows the rules. And the tamyiz clarifies a full capacity of the earth of what? Of gold. So the second example is ma zadahum illa imanan wa tasliman. So this means it did not increase them except in faith and submission. So zadahum is the ambiguous word, so it means it increases them. It's the ambiguous word. And imanan is the first tamyiz, and tasliman is the second tamyiz. And if we look at both of those tamyiz, both tamyiz are singular, common, and nasab, and they come after the ambiguous word. So it follows the rules, and the tamyiz clarifies, how did they increase them? Increase them in what? And the answer is in faith and submission. And another example, sa'at masiran. So this means evil it is as a destination. So sa'at is the ambiguous word, which means evil it is. And the tamyiz is masiran. So tamyiz is singular, common, nasab, and it comes after the ambiguous word. And the tamyiz clarifies how is it evil as a destination. So as per usual, we always advise at the end of every chapter to go over the vocabulary of this chapter at the end of this book. Ideally, at the end of every session, this curriculum is studied so that your Arabic grammar knowledge increases with your vocab knowledge, inshallah.